Subscribe to Techo on YouTube or you will forever be a bot at Fortnite.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I've had a lot of comments and messages from people saying that a lot of my content is pretty advanced for them, especially when it comes to my videos on building and editing techniques. So I thought I would sort of take it back a step and do a video on some high ground retakes I think are effective, but also beginner friendly, so you don't have to be at a super high level to do them. I'd also like to quickly thank user Separate Skink for giving me this idea on Reddit. So my goal with this video is to show off some retakes that are not only beginner friendly, but are also useful and provide good enough cover. My hope is that eventually, after learning these techniques and getting these fundamentals down, you can begin to progress to a more advanced level and adapt to the harder retakes and techniques. Before we start, if you guys go on to enjoy this video and want to see more content just like this, I would appreciate it a ton if you could drop a like and consider subscribing. But without further ado, let's get into the first retake. Also, one quick thing I'd like to tell you guys before I actually start properly on this video is that if you're struggling with any of these retakes, I kind of want to give you a sort of formula that I use when I'm struggling with a retake. And that's to basically cut it up into tiny little parts. So I'm going to show you a few of the moves. One of the main moves we're going to be using is this Thwifo cone. So say you're struggling with a retake that involves a Thwifo cone, practice it just over and over again. This is what a Thwifo cone looks like. Basically just whipping walls back around you. One other move we'll be using is a face sway jump, which is basically just a ramp, a floor, and a ramp, catching yourself with one and editing through. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that if you're struggling with any of these retakes, I would recommend slowing it down quite a bit and just slowly getting down each and every part of it and then trying to string them together all in one retake. But anyway guys, let's get started with the first one. Alright guys, so this first retake is one that I actually use personally, even though it's a little bit on the beginner side, it still helps me a ton. So we're going to start off this retake by doing a scissor ramp just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to get up to the top ramp just like this, one behind, one in front, without one above like that. And we're going to throw up a quick Thwifo cone, so basically just whip walls around and then place a cone up top. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go out to the side of the Thwifo cone that we did not place. You can either place it like that, or place it the opposite way that I did, but you want to have one side open completely. So just like that, or like that for your Thwifo cone basically, either one of those. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go out the open side, you're going to go up, place a ramp, floor, and then jump onto another ramp, and then you're just going to edit out. From here, you're going to go up here, and you can either do some basic 90s, protected 90s, or basically whatever you want to try to retake height. So for here, I would just do a basic 90s, or you can also do this retake real fast. And then use this variation of 90s. So basically how you do that is instead of starting here, you're going to start behind you. So you're going to go up, flip around behind you, and go up just like that. Whip your mouse, or I guess your controller, around just like that. I would recommend practicing those. As you can see, I kind of just messed that up. That's a bit embarrassing, but if you practice it over and over again, you should be able to get it, especially if you play on a pretty high sensitivity. But yeah, that's the first one. So let me show you this one in full speed. Okay, so this second retake is going to start pretty similar to the first one. Most of them pretty much start the same with this sort of scissor ramp, which is basically one ramp above you and one ramp below you. But this time, instead of going out like this, where there's one behind you and one in front of you, you're actually going to go up one extra, so you'll have one ramp below and one ramp above. From here, you're going to open up your cone, and you're going to place one on top of here and to the side. Then you're going to open your wall, turn around, place these two walls, jump to the side, and catch yourself with a ramp. So with this, you'll be able to either edit through, and you'll have two options from here. One is to just simply go out and 90 or do whatever you would do to retake height. Let me break this down really fast. Just get me back in here. All right. And the second variation is actually going to consist of us going out like this instead. And you can basically follow this up with anything. You can follow with a Thwifo cone, 90, or basically whatever you want. So you can do either of those. Okay, one thing to note really fast is that if you're doing it this way, you're going to want to catch yourself with this. You're going to want to place a floor in here as well to hold you up better, and because you basically, well, can't connect this unless you do that. And then you can just follow it however you want. So I'll show you a quick example of each variation. Alright guys, so this third retake is going to basically consist of a Bizzle Jump and a Thwifo Cone. It's a pretty simple combination of two moves that works really well. I even use this in a lot of my build fights, even though it's also pretty simple. So we're going to go up like this and do the same thing, obviously the scissor ramp, and we're going to have one above us instead of one above, one in front. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to jump out to the side, keep our momentum, and do this sort of jump. So I'll show you that one more time. You're going to basically flick and keep all your momentum while jumping. And then you're going to quickly throw up a Thwifo Cone. Now this Thwifo Cone, you don't have to do it, but I prefer to do it. You can simply just 90 up, and I'll show you that variation as well. But I prefer to throw up a Thwifo Cone real quick, then catch my opponent with some protected 90s or just some basic 90s if you're not that advanced yet. So yeah, basically jump out with a Bizzle Jump. Obviously a lot faster than that. You can either 90 out normal from here or throw up a Thwifo Cone and then 90 if you're advanced enough for that. So I'll show you both variations in full speed. Alright guys, so this next technique is a bit more advanced than the other ones in this video. It's probably the most advanced one in this video, but it's still very manageable. It doesn't take too much practice, and it's one of the techniques that I actually use the most. So what I love about this technique is that all the moves are pretty simple to do, but it protects you the whole way through. So anyway, we're doing this like normal, and we're going to throw up a Thwifo Cone, just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the side right here, jump up, and catch ourselves here. From here, we're going to throw up another Thwifo Cone, and then do face sway jump just like that. So let me just do that one more time in slow motion. We're going up, one in front of us. We throw up this Thwifo Cone. We jump up onto here so we catch ourselves with this wall. Another Thwifo Cone all around, and then a face sway jump, which is basically this jump right here. So it'll take a bit of practice. I recommend watching the full speed ones just in slow motion a few times, just so you can really get the feel for it. And yeah, I'll show you it in full speed. Alright guys, so this fifth move, I guess it's almost like more of something you can add on to a retake, or more of its own like general move than actually a retake. But this is called the cone reach. So basically what we're trying to do is, this is best for when your opponent's like right below you or on your level, sort of like this. When you're both sort of clashing against one another, and it's especially helpful in like a 1v1 start if you're doing a PG. But anyway, what you're going to want to do is you're going to place a cone up here, and you're going to edit it. But you're going to hold down the button that you use to actually place the cone, and you're going to confirm the edit and place them all around. So what this does is basically, this cone's going to break, and you're still holding down your cone button, so it'll let you place through it, basically, without placing it on top of your head. So you're basically going to want to whip around and get as many cones down as possible. So the way I typically do it is getting 3. So I messed up there. But as you can see, sort of part of a 1v1 start, just like that, 3 cones, and that helps a ton. And you can also use it in more advanced building patterns or retakes, just like that. Like say I end a retake and I go on to protected 90s or basic 90s, I can use this at the end of my retake to just get cones above my opponent, especially if I'm on a similar level to them. This will give me that final little boost that I need to actually get high ground. So yeah guys, this is super helpful, and while it's not like a complete retake on its own, it's definitely something that you're going to want to practice and get really good at. Also, I just wanted to show you a quick example of me doing that on the end of a retake, so here it is. Alright guys, so this is going to be the last retake of the video, and it's one that's actually probably one of the easier ones in this video. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to go up like this, and we're going to go until one is above us instead of one in front of us. And we're going to place up a cone up here and a cone up here, and then we're going to jump up, catch ourselves with a wall and a ramp. Now from here you have two options. The simpler and easier option is to do a basic side jump, catch yourself right here, and look down so you can place a ramp, and then look back up, and you'll basically already be in a scissor ramp tunnel sort of thing. And then if I can get back down here real fast, the second variation is typically the one I use, and it's a little bit more complicated. Well, it's actually a lot more complicated. This will take a lot more practice, especially if you're not used to it. What I do is I place a wall up here, and then I jump up and catch myself on top of the ramp instead of on top of the floor. So typically we'd just end up below here and we'd be ramping up like that. What this does is it basically gets you higher up faster, and then whichever way you do it, you're going to follow it up with 90s. So let me quickly show you this retake in full speed, and I'll show you both variations of it as well. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope this one helped you out, and that you can use these retakes to gain a strong foundation in building and editing, and eventually use this foundation to progress into the more advanced stuff and reach a higher level. Once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it a ton if you could drop a like and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content just like this. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord, which will be linked in the description, where I have an advice channel where you can ask any questions you have, and myself or a member of the community will respond to help you out. But anyway, thank you all once again for watching this video. I hope it helped you all out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.